This is a presentation on how carbon is used and reused naturally. All life on this planet is carbon-based. You can see there that proteins contain carbon within their chain. Sugar is another excellent example because glucose is C6H12O6. You can also read there that dead matter decomposes and releases carbon in the form of carbon dioxide. The dead matter is decomposed by living things such as bacteria and fungi, and when they do respiration, that is when they release the carbon. This carbon can also be stored, as you can see there, in things such as rocks and in fossil fuels, but also it can be stored within the large oceans. Let's take a look at exactly how the carbon is recycled within the carbon cycle. The element carbon is a black solid. However, when it is combined with other elements such as oxygen to make carbon dioxide, it is an odourless, colourless gas that can be used by different life forms. During the process of photosynthesis, plants, whether it's trees, grass, or flowers, they can take in carbon dioxide either from the atmosphere if they are land-based plants or from dissolved within the ocean if they are water-based plants. They then combine it with water to produce sugar, glucose, and oxygen. The equation you can see appearing on the screen now is the equation, the unbalanced equation for photosynthesis. If we were to add 6, 6, 6 to the beginning of 3 of those compounds, we now have the balanced symbol equation for photosynthesis. That is how carbon is introduced into the food chain. It is passed on through the food chain when the plants use the carbon to make biomass, which is biological substances, and then it is passed on to other organisms when they consume them. All living organisms, whether they are plant or animal, have to do respiration to get energy. Byproduct of this reaction is carbon dioxide, which is released back into the air. The natural order of things is that things will live and then things will die. To make sure that the nutrients contained within dead organisms is passed on, detritivores and other organisms can decay, and when they do decay, they release carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Not all organisms decompose when they die. The carbon contained within their bodies can be stored as fossil fuels. So, for example, trees, under the right conditions, the carbon within them is turned into coal, and organisms that die within the sea and travel to the bottom of the ocean can become oil. Another way in which carbon dioxide can be released into the atmosphere is a man-made one this time. So the combustion, the burning of fuels, whether it is in our homes, factories or in our cars, releases carbon dioxide back into the air. A final way in which carbon dioxide is released back into the atmosphere is through volcanic eruptions. So when volcanoes erupt, they release carbon dioxide as well as other things into the atmosphere that is then available for plants to use. And there you have, this is a summary showing all the different processes which are connected to the carbon cycle. For your exam, you need to be able to identify processes that release carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, processes which remove carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, and consequences of each. You should use this last section to come up with your own little summary of ways carbon dioxide is removed and ways carbon dioxide is added to the atmosphere. You will be tested on this when you return to school.